It's Sunday. It's workshop day. But that's also irrelevant. What I want to talk about today is why do I challenge myself so much? And why do we have this need to always keep on pushing? Every month, I challenge myself to host 4 or 5 workshops on a different topic. Those different topics are often not that comfortable for me. And that's exactly the challenge. I want to push myself beyond my own limits. And by doing that, I want to help other people. But the bottom line is, or my point, is that why would anyone do that? Why would anyone keep holding on to their weaknesses and really face them and address them and just stare at them the whole time? And I also want to talk about how much that affects me emotionally and exactly how I react to living that kind of lifestyle. Let's start with music. I've never been in love with performing live. And that's why I did it so many times. I kinda had to prove myself, or to myself, that I could do it in a fairly relaxed state, and more importantly, that I could do it efficiently, that I could be a good musician on stage as well as in the practice room. I did that, I believe. Some nights were absolute crap, some nights were great. But I did that. I did that so many times that I kind of realized I don't have to do it again and I can do it. So eventually, the fact that I wasn't, or that I am not, super passionate about playing live kicked in, and I made the decision that I'm not gonna do it for a living. I enjoy playing, don't get me wrong, and I will do it again for sure, but it's just not a priority for me. I'll do it if I have the time, when I have the time. So what I have passion for is to help people. My passion in life is teaching, and I wouldn't do anything else in my life. The big question has to be, why do I teach? Well, yes, I love helping people to learn, and I love seeing people improving themselves. But once again, it's because it's uncomfortable for me. It's difficult, it takes a lot out of me, it drains me out. I teach a lot of students, which doesn't help, and I dedicate many hours to gathering material and working on teaching techniques and just trying to figure out how to do this whole thing. So the question is, still, why do I challenge myself so much? Why don't I find my comfort zone, stay there, and become good at staying there?
Too complex, much too complex, too complex, much too complex, too complex, too complex, too complex.
Well, because fear is a lot worse. To look back in regret is a lot worse. So let's look past music. I told you that I'm working on a couple of new businesses. I'm also expanding this business. I'm also already planning on opening 2 more schools. Plus, I'm starting an online coaching website. I write, I vlog, and all of that is not for fun. I think it's time that you understand what the price is to be so prolific. I have no time for myself. I barely see my son. And sometimes I just feel tired of my own voice and my own face. But there's something in my mind that keeps telling me that I need to put this out there. I need to try to be valuable. Maybe I'm just looking for my own significance. Maybe I'm just trying to be relevant. But the point is that it is difficult. And I only keep doing it because it's difficult and it pushes me, and hopefully it will make me a better person. So I suggest that you do the same. Whatever your Worst case scenario is, go do it. Whatever your biggest nightmare is, go do it. Try it, experiment with it, and try to learn from it. And then, of course, start looking for your passions. And your passions will not be easy. They will challenge certain aspects of your life. Perhaps you will not have time for social life. Deal with it. Give yourself the opportunity to experiment, to learn. For example, if you want to write a book, write a book. If you want to start vlogging, start vlogging. But push yourself to be really good at it. I try to improve every single thing that I do every day. That's a massive challenge. So to go back to the beginning, why do I host a workshop on different subjects every week? Because I know that I'm only one person. It's unlikely that I will succeed at communicating these ideas properly every single week. But that makes me a better teacher, because I keep pushing. And yes, sometimes my students might leave the workshops thinking, this wasn't great. And I know that. And I'm okay with that. I'm human. And I'm not talking about the same thing every week. I'm learning literally a new speech every week. A new speech, by all means, doesn't mean that I memorize what I'm going to say, but you know what I mean. How does one do that? Well, you push. You work hard. You find one more hour. You keep on challenging yourself. I suggest that you do the same. You know what's worse than doing something really difficult? Is to know that you could have done it and you gave up on it only because it's a little bit scary, it's a little bit unusual, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. Power through. You start feeling a bit funny, you start feeling a bit nervous, you feel like you just want to cancel. Power through. Keep going. Remember, fear is just a warning signal. Fear is just a reminder that you are human and most likely you will make mistakes. But if you make peace with that, if you become comfortable with making mistakes, listen, you can only be yourself. Today I have this workshop. Of course I will make mistakes. But I have two options. Either I avoid them by not doing, or I make them. And I learn from them, and I smile and move on.
Too complex.
There. Another workshop down. I think it went well. I think it made sense. We work on cool stuff. But what I learned is that it's always worth pushing and trying a little bit harder and trying different things.
Too complex. Too complex. Much too complex. Too complex. Much too complex. Too complex. Much too complex. Too complex. Too complex. Too complex.
I've been here now for 9.5 hours. I think this vlog is over.
Too complex. Much too complex. Too complex. Much too complex. Too complex. Too complex.